Welcome to AirHeads. Coming up, suit you sir, are you in the stock market? We're down on the range. We have HotAir, we have Airstreaming. First, Darren is in rabbit heaven. As the old saying goes, a friend in need is a pain in the... Anyway, it's not the case here. Darren has been asked by an acquaintance to sort out a rabbit problem. He is of course happy to help, so has rocked up with a new FX Cutlass and FAC. All he needs now is somewhere to shoot from.
I brought David along to one of my new permissions. It's actually called Rabbit Hill, and I was asked to come and have a look at doing some rabbit control on here, and I was absolutely amazed because there isn't many what I call rabbit hotspots around where we live. And driving out to this place, I thought, oh, it's going to be same old, bit of arable land and a bit of grass and one or two rabbits. And it is actually an ancient rabbit warren called Rabbit Hill, and it is overrun with rabbits. And David has got this most beautiful, comfy, sponsored vehicle, and I said, just park in the middle of the field, that would be ideal. And he spotted this ramshackle teepee, which has got tetanus screws and nails poking out everywhere, and he said, oh no, that would be quaint, let's sit in there. So for this episode, I'll be mainly laid down trying to shoot rabbits out of this wooden shack.
With a bit of range finding, Darren can mentally map the ground using landmarks, a nettle patch, a branch. It doesn't take long to appreciate that Rabbit Hill is not going to disappoint. The bunnies are keen to feed.
I know you shouldn't laugh, but I think he'd have got gold in the high jump that one. That was a perfect headshot, and he'd done a backflip that I reckon's got to be 6 foot.
Darren selects his shots and uses the Eagle Eye scope camera with GoPro to give us the shooter's eye view. The flexibility of the FAC Cutlass means it's just the job for this place.
It's in their new walnut stock in FAC, which is obviously why I was interested to have a play with it. It follows the standard FX pattern with the power converter or adjuster on the side, so you've got a low, medium and high settings. So you're going to get roughly 8 foot-pound in the low setting, 12 foot-pound in the medium setting, and 32 foot-pound in the high setting. So it makes it a very versatile rifle for anything from close range rat shooting to, medium distance rabbit shooting. In this permission, as you see, there's hundreds of rabbits here. An FAC air rifle is an ideal job because there's neighbouring farmers, neighbouring properties, so I can come up here any time of the day or night and just be absolutely stealthy, quiet, and have a very accurate setup. The main difference between the Cutlass and the Cyclone is the cycling mechanism is spring-loaded, which on the Cyclone it isn't. So it just makes the ease of cycling around using the biathlon lever just that much smoother and that much easier to operate.
This afternoon makes up for all the occasions when the quarry doesn't play ball. One thing Darren has enjoyed today is the flexibility of the March scope. It's got a nifty added benefit which he's found very useful.
I know I've said it before, but very unmanly, I decided to read the instructions. And one of the features on the March scope on the elevation turret is you've got what's called a zero lock. So you set your zero, like I zeroed this FAC air rifle in at 40 metres and then worked out my clicks all the way out to 80 metres, and I've just done a very simple spreadsheet on my phone. So when I rangefind, I can then say at 80 metres I know it's 25 clicks. But the interesting thing in the heat of battle, if all of a sudden you want to make a quick shot and you think and you've lost memory of where you've set your elevation turret, you can just wind it back to zero and it won't go past zero if you use their zero lock system. And what I found really nice is you've got the option that you can either set it or have it so you can then dial under to hold under.
We make Darren stretch his legs and retrieve the biggest of his rabbits. As Simon Whitehead says, little rabbits become big rabbits. Now Darren's setup is not cheap, so what does he say to that?
It is, but my granny did say to me once, she said, Darren, if you die in debt, you've made a profit.
Thank you, Darren. Right, from Rabbit Hill to Rabbit Rabbit, it's David with HotAir.
This is HotAir. Professional pest controllers have been put through their paces with air guns at a training day with Basque, Scotland. The day involved presentations, a written examination and a practical shooting test. The main sponsor of the HFT Masters, BSA, has confirmed it wants to back the competition for the next 3 years. The series, which takes place through the year, can now plan for 2016 and 2017. The first competition in the series is at Lee Valley Airgun Club on the 2nd of May 2015. For more information, go to hftmasters.net. There are apologies from Daystate after a delay in the production of the new Pulsar series. There were a few hold-ups, with some parts arriving later than expected and one key part needing remaking. The delays have put the British airgun manufacturer about 3 weeks behind schedule. The first production rifles have now left the factory, with Pulsar walnut production to start in May. Air Arms and England shooters came first, second and third at the World Hunter Field Target Association Open Class. In the National Championships held at the Kelmarsh Country Fair, Dave Ramshead in second and Rudy Goldstade in third both shoot Air Arms and both shoot for Basque Team England. Vince Holland in first place is English and shoots an Air Arms too. Scotland took second place and Poland third out of 8 nations that fielded teams. And finally, rabbits may be taking advantage of the unseasonably good weather by breeding, well, like rabbits, but enjoy them while you can, because thanks to climate change, they could be dying out. New research suggests that rabbits will be particularly hard hit as climatic changes alter their habitat over the coming decades. They're likely to shift towards the poles and away from warmer climes. Thanks to viewer Eric van der Horst for sending in the story. You are now up to date with HotAir, aiming for accuracy, targeting the truth.
Now, rifle stocks are all the rage at the moment, and if you can't adjust them, you can colour coordinate them. As we heard from Roger last time, the rifle stock is all important for accurate shooting. If you're comfortable, then you are more likely to make that shot. There is definitely a trend for companies to offer what look like custom-made guns for off-the-peg prices. GRS is one of the big players in all of this. Max Hunt visited the factory for us last year. As well as being used to pimp your own rifle, their stocks can now be found used by mainstream rifle manufacturers like Blaser and Browning. BSA has also been setting trends, and if you're not looking for an adjustable stock, you can certainly choose 3 different looks. And the one you choose maybe says a lot about a person, doesn't it, Roger?
So for those of you that know me, I do like the nice Larry colours. Now, this suits this gun no end, right? But let's look at other guns that you can bling up too. The R10, nice gun, lovely stock, fits you nicely. Now, I am from Essex, as you all know. I like all the bits and bobs. Show me something a bit flash. Well, let's have a look. That's a bit tasty, isn't it? So just whack that on your R10, no problem at all. Is there anything else, you ask? Well, yes, there is. Let's go tactical, shall we? Oh yeah, baby, let's go tactical. This is a lovely stock, actually. And it, again, fits really nicely. It's exactly the same as the other ones, but it's rubberized, yeah? This is nice for in the field. I'm not saying this isn't, because this is nice, but if you put it down, you lost it. This one, it's just lovely. But it's always nice to have the option, isn't it?
There's nothing wrong with the classics, but judging by the way things are going, stocks are going to become more and more of a statement. For more information about BSA guns, go to bsaguns.co.uk. Colourful as ever, Roger. And if you want to see our film about the GRS factory, then click on the link that's appeared mysteriously up there behind me in the sky. Now, more and more clay grounds are adding air rifles to their ranges. I went to see one in the east of England. I've come to Suffolk to drive through the 100 rural acres of High Lodge shooting ground, well known to clay shooters, now also known to archers, to golfers, to people who enjoy holidays in the countryside, and to airgunners. I'm here to meet Steve Edwards, who runs the airgunning here.
What we've got 5 lanes of the the knockdown targets, yeah, and we've got them so they can use the shelters, so they can use them through the winter. It tends to be more people who haven't done too much shooting come into it, and but we do have some hunter field target people come up and zero the guns and practice. We have several open days with children, and it's really quite popular because we use good sophisticated air rifles, very accurate. We manage to keep their attention, and they really sort of progress well. We've tried a similar thing with cheaper break barrels, and with the best will in the world, unless they're actually seeing results, this does make it easy with a really good air rifle, when it's accurate and zeros. And also do one or two Duke of Edinburghs, and when we're doing that, I'll do it right back from the beginning, zeroing the rifle, trajectory, working on trajectory, windage, using the rifle with a sight, and then a telescopic sight, and then with open sights.
You've got people coming here for holidays, don't you?
That's right, yeah, we've got holiday cabins, and they'll very often be people who haven't shot before and done anything before, and the whole experience for them coming out and doing this, it's really quite unique, I think, because we've got the shotguns just there, the air rifles here, it's good, and they get the chance to use really good equipment.
If you'd like to find out more about air gunning at High Lodge, go to highlodge.co.uk. Last but not least, let's have a look at what the rest of the world of air gunning is up to on YouTube. It is Airstreaming. Charlie Jacoby here. This is my roundup of the best air gunning on YouTube. Pellet Pumping's Toon Army is out after rats and rabbits. Daryl and Gary from Geordie Hunters TV are out with night vision. God help me if they support Sunderland. Same idea, but from further south in England. Cy and Davey from Vermin Hunters TV are after squirrels with a PCP and spring piston rifle. Squirrel Hunter sometimes buddies up and hunts in a pair and sometimes alone. Usually squirrels, but in this film it is rats. Hunting FPS is dismayed at the number of rats feeding on his bird food, so he deals with them in slow motion in this film. Despite his name, Air Arms Hunting SA, he is out with a Daystate Wolverine after pigeons. It's another good quality video from probably the top hunting filmmaker in South Africa. More avian action from Sniper QTY Airgun in Airgun Technology Vulcan 5.5 hunting birds. And American airgun hunter is after pest birds with airguns too. In his sights are Eurasian collared doves and pigeons. Equals a lot of airgun shooting, he says. Finally, keeping it lofty, the Lord High and Almighty Ted de l'Oldover, or that's what he'd be called if he were French and not from Wisconsin, is pointing his airgun upwards in his latest YouTube outing. Click on the links to watch the videos, or you will find them in this film's description. If you'd like to send in a video for Airstreaming, ping me the link, charlie@fieldsportschannel.tv. That's it. Thank you for watching. We're back in a couple of weeks. This has been Airheads.